Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's pretty safe to say that Doctor Who, the current season of Doctor Who, is awful. I really don't know how else to put it other than that. If I was the BBC, I would probably not be releasing any ratings anymore. The ratings keep tanking and tanking and tanking, and you really can't afford to let people see this because, my God, the fact that it just barely broke 2 million views. 2 million views. It started off at 2.5, then it dropped down to 2.3. Now it's at 2.0, and it's going to probably go under that. This is fucking terrible for Doctor Who.
Tonight at 11.
Doom! And again, ladies and gentlemen, Russell T Davies and good old Ncuti Gatwa, they only got themselves to thank for this. They told people, if they don't like it, don't watch it. They told people, go touch grass. They told people, stop being racist without any proof of people being racist whatsoever. They told people to just basically don't watch the show. And guess what? People are not watching the show. And the people that did watch the show are being turned off so drastically that you're losing hundreds of thousands of viewers per episode. This is such a massive drop. I mean, I haven't seen anything like this for Doctor Who ever. I mean, again, I say this all the time. Jodie Whittaker's Doctor Who, that was the previous worst Doctor Who in terms of viewership. 4.5 million viewers. Like, that was the worst. And now we're talking about 2 million. We're talking about losing 2.5 million viewers. Where did they go? They completely fucking left you in the dust, and it looks like more and more people are leaving. So congratulations, Ncuti Gatwa. You got exactly what you wanted. So let's get into this article, guys, from radiotimes.com. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into that YouTube algorithm. So it has a headline that reads, Doctor Who ratings revealed for Stephen Moffat return. Boom. The episode was first released on BBC iPlayer at midnight. Now, again, ladies and gentlemen, according to this, Boom had an overnight audience of 2.04 million, man. I cannot believe just how bad this is. And again, it says, of course, that figure isn't the full story, as it doesn't include those who watched on BBC iPlayer in the hours leading up to the episode airing on BBC One. Yeah, we don't care about that. All we care about is what the current episode did in terms of viewership. I don't care what happened prior with the previous episodes. We already have the numbers and we already know. The fact that this TV show is now at 2.04 million, I would not be surprised if it goes under 2 million at this point. And you gotta imagine, I understand Russell T Davies is a hardcore activist. I understand Ncuti Gatwa is a hardcore activist, but these numbers cannot be ignored. Everybody who's in charge at the BBC, which I already know is woke as shit, everybody who's in charge, you gotta admit at some point, you can't keep running around and talking this nonsense about how Twitter doesn't matter. The online discourse doesn't matter. The disagreements don't matter. The people who are hating on the show don't matter. You can't keep saying this when you just lost 2.5 million viewers. You don't get that option. I mean, at this point, you now have to admit that things are looking extremely bleak for a TV show that was once sporting 7 to 10 million viewers an episode. Now you are talking about the fact that you are going to be in the 1 millions, man. I have to admit that I didn't think it was going to be this bad. I even said before in a previous video months ago that I thought Ncuti Gatwa's Doctor Who would at least rival or maybe even slightly beat Jodie Whittaker's. I thought that there would be plenty of wokies that would want to see this TV show, at least see more, than Jodie Whittaker's. Jodie Whittaker's was pretty bad. So I got to imagine that I really thought that was going to be the case, and I was so wrong. I mean, these numbers are just insane. Half of the viewership is gone, and it goes to show that Doctor Who as a franchise is nowhere near as strong as it used to be. It is clearly dwindling, and Russell T Davies is running it into the ground. As much as he wants to use it as some form of an activist agenda, driven TV show, whatever, he's openly admitted this. These are not my words. He's openly admitted he's using Doctor Who to push leftist ideology, that his words were, it's going to be a leftist haven. So he's doing it. I'm not saying that, he's doing it. The fact that you're doing this and clearly causing a divide where you lost half your viewership, if not more, at this point, just goes to show that that wasn't the greatest decision. And I wonder if even he is going to have to admit that he fucked this up. It says this season is the first to see Doctor Who episodes being released at midnight on BBC iPlayer, meaning Boom was available to watch for almost a full 19 hours before airing on BBC One at 6:50. An updated figure, including viewers who watched on iPlayer, will be released after 7 days. So I would like to see what those numbers are, considering that, if it's any better, but considering we've seen the numbers after, release being in the, mid to millions, like 2.4, 2.3. I don't really expect it to get that much better, to be honest with you. And I think by the end of the season, it will most definitely hit a record low. I mean, it's already at a record low, but I'm talking like 1 million and maybe 1.8 million, 1.9 million. I think that's where the show is going to end up faltering off, because people just don't want to watch this shit, man. It's so clear that Doctor Who is nowhere near what it used to be. It says on the same night, Britain's Got Talent had an overnight audience of 4.10 million, with the top 1% club receiving 3.8 million. The Doctor Who was the most watched program of the day for the BBC. If that's the case, man, that's pretty fucking sad. That's pretty sad considering just how terrible the viewership numbers are. They're going to try to spin this as much as humanly possible, but we all know this is not the case. The overnight ratings for Boom have taken a dip after the season's launch, which saw 2.6 million viewers tune in for episode 1, Space Babies, and 2.4 million for episode 2, The Devil's Court. Well, so 2.6 million probably had a lot of hate watchers. 2.4 million has mostly hate watchers. And what ends up happening is that people who genuinely wanted to check the show out end up checking out once they realize what it's about. If you had 2.6 in the first episode, 2.4 in the second one, and the third episode is barely passing 2 million, yeah, I think it's pretty safe to say that you're probably going to be stuck in the 1 millions at some point. It says, however, Moffat's return has proven popular among fans, with many praising the 10th episode, which saw Ncuti Gatwa's doctor accidentally stand on a landmine, forced to figure out how to save himself. Companion Ruby Sunday, Millie Gibson, and an entire planet, all without moving a muscle. The episode also unexpectedly introduced season 15 companion Varada Sethu a whole year early, as she took on the role of Anglican Marine, I guess, Mundy Flynn. However, it seems that when she returns, she'll be playing a different character with showrunner Russell T Davies, confirming that the end of Mundy Flynn's story, so quite how Varada returns, will be revealed next year. Again, I don't think anybody's going to be around for that reveal next year. If you're going to do something, I would probably end up doing it now while you have the chance, while you have any sort of viewership, because it looks like it's starting to dwindle drastically. And again, they're talking about the 2024 Christmas special. Nobody gives a fuck, bro. I don't think you're going to have much of a viewership at that point. Anything that is Doctor Who needs to happen now. If you're going to come out swinging, you need to swing now, because I'm telling you, you are not going to be very happy with your viewership after the season's over and the year comes to a close and you do your Christmas special. Your last Christmas special wasn't that great. It did like 4 some odd million views, which, listen, at the time was considered bad, but now when compared to Ncuti Gatwa, it might be considered absolutely amazing. So it depends how you look at it, but Ncuti Gatwa is definitely getting absolutely roasted in terms of viewership numbers for Doctor Who, and it couldn't have happened to a better person. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy it. And if you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.